Guys, how's it going? It's Al. Week 17 NFL on DraftKings. We're going to build an NFL DFS tournament lineup just like we always do here on First Look, with absolutely no projections, absolutely no in-depth analysis. I just go through, take a look at where I see some inequities in the salaries, trying to build a double stacked quarterback lineup with a bring back and a secondary stack. If you are interested in becoming a member of our Discord, go to smizzle.tv/Discord. There is a chance to become a server subscriber right there in the Discord for $5 a month. You get the access to the VIP channels in Discord, as well as the weekly cheat sheet that comes out every single Friday of the NFL season. You can become a channel member here on YouTube as well. Smizzle.tv/join. You get all the same perms in Discord as you would for becoming a Discord channel subscriber. But you'd have to link the Discord to the YouTube account, and it can get messy. Like, some people have had issues with it. Easier if you wanted that access to just become a server subscriber in the Discord itself. Smizzle.tv/Discord. Thank you guys for being here. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notifications bell. I hope you had a Merry Christmas, and let's go.
He's a legend.
13 games on this main slate this week on New Year's Eve. It's the New Year's Eve slate. We'll see if the ball drops in our favor. However, the best game is going to be on Saturday. Not happy about that. Detroit and Dallas, 53 total in Dallas. Why couldn't you move a trash game off of the Sunday slate and put that on Saturday? Ugh, I'm so mad. Patriots travel to Buffalo, 40 total there. Bills favored by 1 million. Panthers and the Jaguars, 37.5 total there. The Jaguars have been playing terribly, but the Panthers also just have been terrible all year. Two good games back to back for Bryce Young, however. Cardinals travel to Philadelphia. Saints go to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay favored by 3. The Saints have been a tough defense, but Tampa Bay's been a bit of a pass funnel, and the Saints offense has looked a little bit better recently. 49ers, coming off of a loss, go to Washington to lick their wounds, favored by almost 2 touchdowns. They have a team total of 500,000 in this one. Falcons go to Chicago. 37.5 is the total here. Bijan Robinson coming off of a big game. Justin Fields has been looking really solid recently. Hopefully DJ Moore can have a bounce back after 2 subpar weeks. The Rams square off against the Giants. I really want to see the Rams play Detroit in week 1 of the NFC playoffs. I want that to happen. Can we manifest that? And possibly Tommy Cutlets is no longer the starter. His 15 minutes were up. The Dolphins go to Baltimore to face the Ravens in kind of the game of the week. Major playoff implications here. Everybody wants to watch this one. It's going to be the most featured game. It's the game of the century of the week. And the Titans go to Houston to face off against Houston Texans. We have CJ Stroud most likely making a comeback in this game after missing 2 weeks with a concussion. All signs so far pointing to him being able to play this weekend. Raiders go to the Colts. In Indy, Colts favored by 3. Jonathan Taylor going to get a massive market share. We have Pittman possibly coming back from the shoulder and concussion. He was already cleared from concussion, but sat out because of the shoulder, or re-entered the concussion protocol last week. That hit was just brutal. Hopefully he can get back. He's been having a fantastic season. Want to see him back on the field sooner rather than later. The Seahawks host the Steelers, 41.5. Their Pickens coming off of his best ball winning game that he had last week, moving a lot of teams to the finals from the semis. Chargers go to Denver in a division battle there, and the Bengals the Bengals go to Kansas City to play the Chiefs, coming off of a horrific loss to the Las Vegas Raiders. So not a great slate at first look, right? Just looking at the teams and the matchups and the totals, the one spot everybody wanted to go to is not on the slate, but there are some places that we can get to. Let's start with the running back pricing, because there's always plenty of value at running back week in, week out. DraftKings altered the pricing this year, as we've referenced many times, to try and take the edge away from the sharper players, knowing that stacking is as powerful as it is, specifically on DraftKings, because of their scoring, with it being full PPR and bonuses, that if you catch a 30-plus point game from a quarterback, you're probably going to have yourself in a position to win a tournament. And they've made it about not quite pick 'em, but almost pick 'em, with 5 to 10 players at running back, projecting at 2 points above their salary expectation, while the secondary wide receivers have really been juiced up on their salary. So there's probably some values that we could find at the running back position. We'll start, at the bottom. Warren is somebody that everybody has wanted to go to. I'm not going to go for that. It's a timeshare on the road. even though Seattle has been gettable for opposing running backs. Similar situation for Javonte Williams. He's been getting an awful lot of volume, but now splitting more recently with McLaughlin way more. Doesn't have the same snap share and touch share that he had in the middle of the season. And in that first year coming back from the ACL surgery, he has not been as elusive as he was before. Hopefully next year he can bounce back, because he has been wholly inefficient this year at the things that he was really, really good at. Part of his skill set was tackle breaking, tackle evading, yards after first contact, and all of that is gone. He has not recaptured the burst that he had pre-injury. Hopefully that comes back next season. Singletary, in a game that they were getting throttled, got scripted out of this game, but his market share at running back has been phenomenal. Tennessee has been a team that we couldn't get with running backs early in the season. We could as the season moved on. I'm not against Singletary, especially with the return of Stroud. He's been very efficient on the ground and always has been good in the passing game. Chuba Hubbard getting all the volume he can handle. Jacksonville also kind of a pass funnel defense. They don't want you to run it. They will let you throw it. James Conner against Philadelphia, no thank you. Gus Edwards, you'd be banking or betting on touchdowns only, as that is his thing. He's kind of that one-trick pony. It's a good trick, though, because he has like 12 touchdowns so far in the year. But he's James Conner from a couple years ago. You remember James Conner when he was on Arizona the first half of that year, when Chase Edmonds was the one getting all of the pass game work, and Conner would get all the inside the 5 carries and get like 12 carries a week. So he'd have like 35 yards, 50 yards, and like a touchdown or 2. And even if he got 2 touchdowns, he wouldn't help you because he was like 6K and would get you like 15 points. It just wasn't worth it. There was no ceiling. It's kind of the same thing with Gus Edwards. So like, you'd have to have a game like this where he carries the ball 20 times, gets 20 plus opportunities, scores 3 touchdowns to give you a chance at over a 25-point game. It's really tough for him to get that. He is wholly reliant on touchdowns. Ezekiel Elliott has been really good in high volume in the absence of Ramondre Stevenson, but we'll see if Stevenson comes back this week. It looks like the old Zeke. We'll see if that persists. Bijan Robinson finally got back to the opportunities you want. 22 opportunities, 10 of them coming through the air, 19.2 DraftKings. Hard to fail on DraftKings as a running back or any position when you get double-digit targets. We'll see if Josh Jacobs returns. Mixon, Eckler way down at 6,700. How the mighty have fallen. This Chargers offense looks like a wreck under Easton Stick. They get to go to Denver. Denver has been up and down, but like mostly since that beating that they took from Miami, has been a very solid defense, still 31st against running backs, but mostly because they gave up 15 touchdowns and 837 yards combined to running backs against Miami earlier in the season. Pacheco left the game. Barkley getting a ton of volume. I want to keep it simple at running back this week. 1, Arizona. This is who we played running backs against pretty much every week. Every week that we have an opportunity to play a not expensive running back, we go with that not expensive running. Now, hopefully, DeAndre Swift doesn't fall on the 1-yard line, as he has been prone to do so many times this year and gets vultured with the tush push. So hopefully he can find his way into the end zone instead of falling on the 1-yard line. He's getting more than enough volume. They haven't really utilized him in the passing game just because of the nature of the offense. They do sprinkle in other guys. Kenny Gainwell does get some snaps, but it doesn't matter if you're giving 20 opportunities, 21 opportunities, and this much usage when they fall behind in the passing game to DeAndre Swift. The key is he just needs to score. The benefit is Arizona has acquiesced and allowed running backs to score an awful lot this year. So I'm going to plug in DeAndre Swift in a game where Philadelphia really wants to get things back and going at home against a bad defense. Should be very easy for him. And guess what? We're going to have enough money. Look, you could go after Rachaad White at 7,600. He's been really solid. Kyron Williams has been phenomenal and great on volume as well. They go to New York, the Ace Rothstein spot, West Coast team going to the East Coast. They're going to be favored, and then they're going to play an early game on the East Coast, like all the narrative type stuff. But like, why not just play Christian McCaffrey? Coming off of a loss, 100-yard rushing is very much in play. Washington's defense has been putrid, and 21 touchdowns so far on the year. Not only do we have a really high floor, but we really have a really high ceiling. 26.7 points on average. We know that he can get up to the 40-point mark, whether it comes on the ground or through the air. I think that you're going to get a big time opportunity from Christian McCaffrey, and we can find places that we're going to go. The game that I want to stack through based on the prices of the entire stacks, and I look through every single possible team, kind of want to go with New Orleans and Tampa Bay because you could stack through Baker Mayfield. He's been solid enough, multiple touchdowns in 4 of his last 5, does have the ability to get there on the ground as well. And there's places that you can easily get to stack him with. Otten, as New Orleans has been a team that we'd want to attack with opposing tight ends. You could go through Godwin. You could go through Rachaad White because he has a high enough target market share to warrant stacking him with Baker Mayfield. Involved enough in the pass game that he does correlate well with Baker. Derek Carr at 5,500, coming off of 2 straight games with 3 touchdowns and 3 straight games with multiple touchdowns, and enough healthy bodies around him in the passing game that seem way too cheap this week with upside. I'm going to go with a Derek Carr. We're going to go with Chris Olave, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a team that definitely give it up through the air. They want to stop the run. 13 targets for him last week, the most air yards. You know you're going to get opportunity, and you're going to get that opportunity against a team that's given it up, as well as the upside of a player like Rashid Shaheed, coming off of a 9-target game in week 16 against the Rams. 18 points for him. We know that he is a perfect tournament player. Boomer bust type play, can break it open in one catch. 45-yard touchdown, 58-yard touchdown, 51-yard touchdown, 41-yard touchdown. Again, possibly a one-trick pony that he has to get loose down the field, but he's really good at that one trick, and only 4,600. So opens up a salary release valve to allow us to afford the floor of Christian McCaffrey and shoot for the top of the list. On the other side, I never play, even though the Lattimore is not going to be there because of his injury. Chris Godwin against this New Orleans team has done very well, and he's come on recently. He has been way more involved in the passing game recently versus before. This is the way that they have trended with double-digit targets in each of the last 3 games. Now they come back home and face off against New Orleans, who is likely to stuff the run. So utilizing the pass to set up early down work should lead to some easy early down targets, which are completely convertible into catches and fantasy points. 100-yard bonus is certainly on the table. If you look at what he did against them earlier this season, 8 catches on 11 yards for 114. Fits right in with his recent workload. 6,100 for him feels way too cheap, which gives me a need for a secondary stack. Let's plug in a defense just so we can see what else we need in this lineup. No, okay, even on a plug-in defense, I'm not using the Chargers, but like, okay, fine. 2,900, we'll go with the Broncos, fine. Just something 3K or below. A defense will pop up later in the week as we do a little bit more analysis and find out about the injuries, leaving us $4,000 remaining. The tight end spot, we're clearly not going to be able to pay up. 5,900 for Trey McBride against Philadelphia. If you wanted to correlate him with Swift, I'm fine with that. You'd have to come down off of McCaffrey to make that so, and go with kind of a full-on balanced salary type lineup. I don't hate that at all. Kittle against Washington is fine. Kincaid has seen his target market share drop since the return of Dawson Knox. Cole Kmet, monitor the injury with him. He injured his knee against the Cardinals. We'll see if he's ready to go this week. If he's not, then that opens up probably a lot more snaps for Tunyon in that offense. Isaiah Likely has been pretty solid in the absence of Mark Andrews, and now they get a big game against Miami. If you wanted to go with Taysom Hill, if you think that he's going to catch the ball, fine. They have not been utilizing him the same way that they had utilized him earlier in the season, and it's led to Derek Carr having a lot more upside. Schultz, tough defensive matchup. Pitts finally got loose last week on 4 targets. They still threw the ball more to Jonnu Smith. Arthur, I hate you. I hate you a lot. But Chicago has been a team that you could attack with tight ends. Same thing for Darren Waller, going up against the Los Angeles Rams. 5 targets for Waller, 6 the week before. Now he gets Tyrod Taylor instead of Tommy Cutlets under quarterback, at quarterback, under center. Players will open up down in this range as the week goes along, as I was saying. But Chigo Okonkwo, longtime favorite of mine, has been balling recently. He has been playing exceptionally well. Finally got rewarded with a touchdown. Still has that big playability at the tight end position that does not usually present a lot of big plays. 39-yard long, 25-yard long, 22-yard long, and a 17-yard long. Caught 6 of 6 balls, 6 targets in 3 of the last 4 weeks for him. So you have a solid enough floor on volume with a massive upside because of his personal big playability at only 3,600, squaring off against the Houston Texans, leaving us with 4,400, and I need a secondary option to play along with the picks that I have already chosen. which basically is going to leave me with Curtis Samuel right here, 4,400. Yes, floor ceiling play, but we've seen multiple 20-point games from him at 4,000s before. 21 against the Rams, 22 against Dallas. Yes, San Francisco is a talented defense, but as the guy that teams try to take away, not being Curtis Samuel, they're going to try to take away Terry McLaurin. They're probably going to try and take away Dotson as well. Curtis Samuel just gets to run free and get a lot of easily convertible targets into catches, as well as being somebody that they utilize around the goal line. 5 touches so far this year, so there's touchdown upside as well. Our first look lineup this week is Derek Carr, Swift, McCaffrey, Olave, Shaheed, Godwin, Okonkwo, Samuel, and the Broncos defense. And if you are looking for 5 tips to make yourself better at daily fantasy on DraftKings and try to stop losing money, we've got a few weeks left with the playoffs. Be sure to check out this video right here. In 15 to 20 minutes can make you a better daily fantasy player with 5 easy tips. Good luck. See you guys later.